For more on the government's perspectives on these challenges, we're joined now in the studio by Manpower Minister Dr. Tan See Leng. Dr. Tan, welcome.
Hello, Don. Hello, Joe.
Hi. So for people like Caroline, whose story, part of her story was told just now, one of the concerns perhaps for her is to have the right skills, to get those, have those skills and get a job quickly so that she can then save, and basically build up on those savings. We know that the retirement age is going to be raised now. So do we have enough job matching and reskilling sort of opportunities for people like Caroline so that they can sort of stretch that runway to build up enough savings?
Indeed, what we try to do at every stage of a person's career, from the time he's a young graduate to mid-career and all the way to near retirement, at every sector in terms of his or her life journey, we come up with a whole slew of programs to help them, to improve their chances of job matching, to also ensure that they stay relevant in terms of skill sets, their expertise, and also on top of the competition. So for someone like Miss Caroline Ng, she went through a particular period where kids were growing up. She had someone, an elderly in the home that she had to take care of. So she left the job market for a while. Then she came back. We worked with WSG in terms of the career conversion program, and she landed a job and worked at it for a couple of years. Then she decided to take a career break. And now with this new modular package that we put up, the Earn and Save bonus, she's excited to come back again. Of course, at this particular point in time, her son is grown. The elderly mother-in-law whom she's staying with, I think, has become also a lot more independent. She's able to find the time to go back. So she, with the career guidance, with the counsellor, with also some of the skill sets that we're able to help her to acquire, she will be able to find a job quite easily. Of course, she has also expressed a wish to do, sort of social services and so on. So I think from the point of view of, because she volunteers as a Silver Generation Ambassador, I think all these augurs well for her. And we want this sense of optimism, this sense of hope to always prevail amongst all of our fellow Singaporeans. At every stage of your life, there's something in it for you.
What will you say to those who are talking about closing the CPF special account, especially people like Caroline? Do you think it would affect those in that group particularly? And also, will fewer people voluntarily top up the account?
Well, if you look at the whole construct of the special account, up to 55, it is a very good instrument for our members to be able to allocate into, of course, ordinary account, special account, and the MediSave account. And the special account and MediSave account pays a high interest compared to the ordinary account. So it gives them a high returns. But you have to remember that the ultimate construct of the SA, the moment they hit 55, the key focus is on one of the core objectives, which is for retirement adequacy. So for the vast majority of Singaporeans, they have the option of topping up to the FRS from the special account first. And of course, if there's any excess, we have now enlarged the ERS to 4 times that of BRS or double the FRS. Right. So we have actually given that horizon, that latitude for them to top up for those with a lot of special account savings. So if you think about it, if a member upon reaching 55, wants to top up all the way to ERS, we are looking at 99%, more than 99% of all CPF members being able to do so. So we are really talking about that really outlier in terms of that less than 1%, that equivalent of 8,400 members who have exceeded even the 4 times BRS. Now, in that setting, they have the option of either investing on their own, or they can just leave it in the ordinary account, which will still pay them the 2.5% interest.
So they still continue to have some flexibility there.
Yes.
Dr. Tan, stay with us. We will come back to you in just a bit. But first, let's take a look at the measures to help employers who hire older workers or those employed for a long time.
unemployed for a long time, they will get a higher salary, Dawn, supported to offset training costs. That's from next month. Now, it's under the career conversion program that also applies to workers who want to switch sectors or roles.
Now, in all, employers can get up to $45,000 salary support for each worker for a typical 6-month program.
Well, the current program has helped SMEs like M Design Solutions, a precision engineering company which makes medical products. It hired previously retrenched workers and put them through the career conversion program. Now they are able to handle electronics and robotics as well. But there are still some challenges.
I think in Singapore, as we know, a lot of talent actually is employed in the big organization. Of course, they have better benefits and all this. SME like us is a continuous challenge because sometimes the career development path is not very clear for them. So as such, I think in terms of remuneration and all this, it's more challenging definitely to attract talent.
So, Dr. Tan, from what we've heard there, these smaller business, they have to compete with the bigger MNCs on many levels for their remuneration, also for setting up, structured training. So are these policies in place adequate to address the workers' preference for bigger entities and what they perceive as bigger salaries?
We believe that it actually really opens up the space, the horizon, and it helps many of these small and medium enterprises to source for a wider group of talent. And by having these CCPs, the career conversion programs, and by subsidizing it to such a large extent, that means up to 90%, depending on which sector you're in. So it covers training, it also covers their salary. It allows the companies to look at adjacencies, tap on them in terms of their aptitude, the mindset, the experience that they have, whether it's more mature workers or whether the runway that they have in certain fields could allow them to then tap on the conversion part of it to switch them into roles so that you can add on from a engineering role to even a process or marketing business development role. So by bringing them all together, it allows these companies to therefore leverage on existing skill sets plus training them, pivoting them to different sorts of skill sets that can actually potentiate and actually improves and accelerate the development for the entire company itself. So it's a scheme that thus far has a lot of traction. A lot of companies are actually quite keen. The rollout is moving quite quickly, and because of the promising early results that we've seen, we are expanding it. And in fact, the OMIP, which is the Overseas Market Immersion Program, is really an extension of this CCP as well, responding to feedback from many of the employers.
One of the concerns for local workers, Dr. Tan, is also about wage growth or that their wages at least won't be depressed as well.
Yes.
You want to be able to keep the level, the playing field level as well. With this EP qualifying salary being revised upwards in this way, how are we going to ensure that level playing field continues?
So the EP qualifying salary is the basis upon which we can consider any foreign worker coming in here applying for EP pass before they even go into the campus framework, right? So that qualifying salary has to be met. And the EP qualifying salary is taken from benchmarks of our local wages, and we peg it to the top 1/3 of all of our wages because the EPs are pegged because they are supposed to come in, complement, if they have skill sets, to transfer these skill sets to our locals, and they're supposed to bring the companies to a different level. So they're the top 1/3 level of talent that we're looking at. And by reviewing these benchmarks based on the top 1/3 of our local PMEs, we think that that standard continues to set the bar high for any foreigner wanting to come in here and work. And those numbers that I gave you in terms of the revision is just at the entry level. So obviously someone who's 10 years working here, that framework, that level would be significantly higher than the entry level at $5,600 when it's raised.
Well, Dr. Tan, we want to thank you for coming into our studios and having a chat.
Sure, thank you.
We've been speaking with the Manpower Minister, Tan See Leng.